What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Wednesday. What is today's date? Let's see here. We got the 26th of October. Really glad to be here. Guys, I put together a really cool session today. I think you're really going to like it if you want to make money online. This is really going to be all the steps you need to make money online. I was actually inspired to do this by somebody I talked to in Starbucks the other day. I'll get into that just one second. But by the end of this session today, you're going to have all the things you need to really be successful online. Now, you may not like hearing a couple of them. Okay. A couple of them may not make you feel too good, but that's not the point. They work. And if they work, and that's really what you want to do is be successful online, then you're going to want to watch this entire session today. Don't miss a bit of it. Now, I've got my iPad set off to the side here so I can talk to you guys, so you can put information, you can chat, you can do all that good stuff in that chat box. And when you do that, I will respond to you. And it doesn't have to be exactly what I'm talking about. I mean, you just may want to say hi. You may want to tell me what the weather's like, whatever. Make sure you use that chat box, though. It's super important that you do that. That interaction is really what keeps this stuff going. I know a lot of you watch this after the fact. Probably about 98% of the views on my videos when I go live are after I'm live. So even if you're not watching this live, you can put comments in the comment section. I come back, I answer those. I did a couple of them yesterday. I do them every single day. I try to do it every single day, but for the most part, I will answer anything that you put in there. So make sure you do that. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button down there, turn it from red to gray. Don't forget to ring the bell. Whoa, wait, whoa. Hang on a second. The bell. I forgot. I had the bell off my desk because I was filming some other stuff and I didn't want the bell in it. So anyhow, don't forget to ring the bell, turn on all bell notifications so you're notified each and every time I go live or if I upload a new video. So I want to get into it, but let me tell you about what happened to me the other day. I was in Starbucks and there's another guy in there trying to break into digital marketing. And I talk to him every now and then, try to give him some pointers and all that. But I can't control somebody's actions. Let me move this back a touch here. There we go. And we were both there probably 8 or 8:30, something like that. And around 10:30, he gets up and he walks over to me. He says, "I'm going to get going. I'm not into this today." I said, "Well, he said, I just don't feel like doing anything today. I just don't feel like it." And I said, "Well, even if you don't feel like it, you should do it. That way you get something done." And he says, "Well, here's the problem with that. If I'm working on something and I don't feel like doing it, it's not going to be my best." That was his rationale. And I said to him, well, even if it's not your best, you're getting something done. If you leave and go home and do nothing, nothing gets done. Now, he was trying to rationalize in his brain why he wanted to be lazy that day. And hey, I want to be lazy almost every day. I do. There are some days where I just get up and I want to get things done. But for the most part, I want to be lazy. And I told him, I said, being successful online is doing stuff when you don't want to do it. That's what the definition of success is. He didn't like hearing that, but he did say, he says, "Guys, I feel like you're my dad or something." I said, "But it's good advice. And it's true. Guys, don't wait until you feel like doing something." I mean, if you waited until you felt like going to the gym, how often would you go to the gym? If you waited until you felt like eating healthy, how often would you eat healthy? You can't wait till you feel like it. You got to look at all these things, and I'm going to give you a whole list of them today. These are things that you just must do, whether you feel like it or not. And for the most part, you won't feel like it. That's just the way this stuff works. You will not feel like it, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. Because if you only do what you feel like doing, you don't get much done in life. So that's my little rant on that. But let's get into the information first off. And guys, it doesn't matter what order this is in. This is, clearly stuff that you need to do, but it doesn't have to be in any particular order. You just got to get it done. So I would say the first thing is you've got to continue learning both sideways and up and down. Okay. You got to continue learning. Really, to be effective, you have to have like a holistic approach to digital marketing. So that's going to include everything. So some of you out there will say, "Well, I'm not good at this," or "I don't know this," whatever. You need to know it all. You really do. You need to know SEO and copywriting and website design and advertising, all these things. You need to know it all. Everybody says, "I want to make like $1 million a year, $2 million a year." And it certainly can be done. And I've done it and continue to do it, but it's only because I know all these things. And how do I know all these things? I just learn them. I mean, you can go to YouTube and you can pick this stuff up, but you've got to really sit down and go, "I got to know this stuff." I mean, Do you know the acronyms? Do you know what PPC means? Do you know what SEO means? Do you know what ABM means? Do you know what CTA means? Do you know what KPI means? What about SMM? What about UX? What about CRO? What about ROI? If you don't know all these things, and those are just a few acronyms. If you don't know all these things, you're not going to be a good digital marketer. So you need to know this stuff. A successful modern marketer knows and understands a whole wide language of stuff online. And you just got to buckle down and say, I'm going to learn it. That way they can actually engage in conversations with your team. If your team says, hey, this guy doesn't know anything, she doesn't know anything, they're not going to feel very confident in you. Okay, they're really not. Besides the fact that they're going to probably get over on you, they're probably charging you for something that they're not doing. You've got to learn all this stuff. Effective marketers also need to dive deeply into their areas of strength. Okay, so some things you're going to be better at than others. I mean, that's just a fact. That's going to happen. But you've got to view your own expertise as a never-ending pursuit. Okay, no matter how much you know about an area, you need to study it more. Learning vertically equips you to answer any questions you face and positions you as a thought leader. That's what you want to be on your subject of expertise. Now, some people will get into digital marketing because they say, I just want to make some money, but you've got to have a deeper motivation. Now, my deep motivation is to teach people how to make money online. I really enjoy it when I see somebody take something that I've given them and they apply it and they make money. My wife's motivation is for pet care, okay? She teaches nutrition, she teaches training, and her deep need is to get people to have a better relationship with their pets and for the pet to have a better life, okay? So that's her motivation. You got to stop and say, what's my motivation, okay? And that way you're going to want to learn vertically and horizontally. Next thing, number 2, is you need to set clear, measurable goals. For most marketing plans, the clear and measurable goal is revenue. And I get that. Okay, I get that. You want to make some money. However, when you're marketing, revenue increases. Some marketing campaigns set out with a goal of raising awareness. Maybe that's your goal. It has nothing to do with making money. This has to do with getting people to know who you are, invoking engagement, or maybe it's something entirely different. I don't know, doing downloads or whatever it may be. No matter the end goal, it's got to be clear and it's got to be measurable. Don't run an ad and not know what you're trying to do. I see that happen all the time. They'll say, well, I want to make some money. I'm like, well, you're doing a download and there's no follow-up to sell people stuff. How are you going to make money? Well, they're going to come back to my page and buy stuff. How would you know that that ad did anything for that? You've got to have a clear, measurable goal. Without a clearly defined goal, effectiveness cannot be measured. As you build your marketing, you want to identify what your goal is for that particular project, okay? Once you've identified what the goal is going to be, you want to add a number and a time frame, okay? You can't say, well, my goal is to build my list and you run it for 2 years, okay? Well, you know, are you building the list fast enough? Is it working? It's too long of a period of time. You also can't run an ad for 2 days and say, I want to sell a whole bunch of stuff. That's not long enough either. Goal setting approach is not only going to help you clarify your effectiveness of your marketing, but it also sets clear expectations as to what you want. What do you want? Okay, and that's going to be our number 2. Number 3, avoid stopping your goal or changing what your goal is. Avoid stopping your goal or changing what the goal is. Inevitably, something will slow the progress of what you're doing. I mean, it just does. Things come up, phone calls, emails, whatever it is. But when this happens, you've got to make it easy to not move that goal. I think a lot of people say, well, you know, this happened and this happened, so I'm not going to worry about this for another month. You don't want to do that. It's actually not very helpful to do this, okay? We all want to achieve our goals, but there are valuable lessons in embracing the conflict of our missed goals, okay? We can't just say, well, I'm going to stop that goal. I'm going to change that goal because I know I'm not going to hit it. It's okay if you don't hit it. As a matter of fact, I think I posted the other day, the way to really grow and succeed is to set goals that you don't think you're going to hit. Set a goal that you don't think you're going to hit. I'm so sick of hearing attainable goals. Attainable goals. That sounds like easy to me. That sounds like, you know, if I'm going to the gym and I normally curl a 45-pound weight and I go in there and I say, well, I'm going to curl a 10-pound weight. I know I can do that and I'll achieve that goal every single day. Yeah, but you're not growing from it. Okay, you're not growing from it. You're not getting better. You need to set goals that you don't think you're going to achieve. You need to really reach. Okay, you need to really make yourself reach. If the goal was missed due to an error, you need to reassess future estimates. Okay, what did you do wrong? If the campaign didn't go as planned, work to identify the source of the diversion. Okay, what messed you up? In both cases, there's an opportunity to identify areas that need some correction, that you need to work on, that you need to change. Okay, and it's okay if you don't hit a goal. You shouldn't hit all your goals. If you hit all your goals, you're lifting 10-pound weights every day. You're doing stuff that's way too easy for you. Great marketers don't move the goalpost. Okay, don't move your goalpost. Don't say, okay, I got 30 days to do this, and when you get close to 30 days and you see it's not going to happen, you go, well, let me give myself 60 days. Let me give myself 60 days because it doesn't look like I'm going to hit my goal. Don't do that. Embrace the lessons. And if you don't hit it in 30 days, what did you do wrong? Did you set your goal wrong? Did you not put forth the effort? Did you screw off when you should have been working? Did you go home because you didn't feel like working that day? You can't do that. Once you're determined to do a goal, you want to stick with it. If you miss the goal, assess why, make changes, and move forward as a smarter marketer. But don't move the goalpost and don't quit on it, okay? And if you have questions about this, post it in the chat box. If you're not live, post it in the comment section. Number 4, you need to always test new ideas in a manageable and measurable way, okay? New ideas are super important. It's easy to fall into that, well, this is the best practice type thing. Sure, but best practices are tried and true approaches, but often they're also the same methods that everybody else is doing. Don't worry what everybody else is doing. Effective marketing sets your business apart from others, and new ideas will help you stand out and do more. Highly effective marketers take the time to be a little bit creative. They implement new ideas. They come up with new things. It's more effective to try out these new ideas first in an environment than it is to easily control something. We don't want it all controlled. For example, you could test out a different subject line in an email campaign to learn what kind of language gets more engagement from your ideal customers. You could split test. You could have one email with one subject line, another email with another subject line. Which one got opened? Which one got clicked on? You may find that a new way of communicating with your audience is actually more effective. I was talking to somebody the other day and they were sending out marketing emails and it was about a podcast they were doing. Great idea, send out an email. The problem was in the email, this person explained every single thing they talked about in the podcast. Now, if I send out an email and I tell you everything that's in the podcast, why would you watch the podcast? That email should be a teaser. It should be, something that's going to make people want to click to go listen to that podcast. Think about the reason. Think about the reason of everything. When I write an email, the first thing I'm going to do is a subject line. The subject line is not to give them the subject of the email. It's not. It's to entice them to open the email. That's what a subject line should do. Does it make people open your email? When you write an email, it's not to tell them everything. The email is to get some type of action. Click to download something, click to watch something, click to join something. An email is to get them to click to go somewhere. And when they get there, there should be some action there. Maybe it's to listen to my podcast. Maybe it's to download a PDF. Maybe it's to buy my product. But understand all these components have a reason behind it. And if you're not taking into consideration that they all have a reason behind it, you're missing the boat. Okay. So you understand that's what's important. All right. We're down to number 5. Number 5 is very interesting. I want you to actually build things that are easy to comprehend business cases, okay, for initiatives. And here's what I mean for that. Not every initiative has to end up with a goal of increasing revenue. I think we all fall into that category where we're like, well, I got to make money. I got to make money. I got to make money. That's not always the goal. My goal is to help people actually let them make money. Okay, so it's a different thing. But as I help them make money, they tend to buy my stuff and I make money. Whatever your goal is, effective digital marketers will build a case to illustrate the importance of the work and the expected results of that particular project. So when everybody's involved and understands the investment of time, energy, and financial resources, and they know what they're working towards. Excuse me, let me get a sip here real quick. That's my big water bottle. Try to drink more water. You should too. It's good for you. So at the conclusion of a project, businesses can easily repurpose it into a case study that details the outcome of the work. So whatever it is that I'm trying to do, I should be able to take that and present that to somebody, show them what I did, show them the results I got, and let them replicate that. Because my job is to teach people how to start, run, and grow online businesses. I never lose sight of that. I never lose sight that my job is to help you start, run, and grow online businesses. If I can do that on a regular basis, then I'm achieving my goals. Along the way, I'll make some money. Along the way, somebody's going to send me some cash. Along the way, I'm going to talk to some people. All these other things are going to happen. But my main goal is to help you start, run, and grow your online business. Okay, number six. Number six. All right. Don't step over confusion or lack clarity. And here's what I mean by that. Confusion and the lack of clarity are really the roadblocks to progress. The easy way to get around these roadblocks is to step over them or to step around them. But in reality, if you are confused regarding a strategy, goal, marketing message, whatever, it's likely that others are also confused. So if it doesn't sound clear to you, you need to stop. You need to stop right there and make it more clear. A really intelligent marketer understands that the clarity is critical to success and refuse to simply step over moments of confusion. Now, when I was talking to this marketer the other day who was sending out the emails, this person had put some acronyms that I didn't know what they were. You know, they were like 3 or 4 letters put together and something about food. And I didn't know what they were. So I said to them, I said, you know, I was reading your subject line. I have no idea what this means. I don't know what this means. And they said, yeah, I thought that would make people more curious to click and try to figure out what it means. I said, no, it makes us feel dumb. It makes us feel like you know something we don't know. And I don't even want to look at it. I don't want to look at it because I don't want to admit that I don't know something. Okay. And most people are the same way. Make it clear. Make it really clear. Now you can have teaser things where it says, I'm going to give you the answer to this, but don't just insert, you know, company jargon and acronyms and stuff like that people won't know, because if they don't know it, they're going to be less likely to listen to what you've got to say. Your clarity and understanding is really the key to success. Okay. Addressing this confusion. Okay. If you're confused, they're going to be confused, but addressing that and lack of clarity head on will really keep your team on the same page. And it's going to deliver more effective results from not only your team, but also your audience out there, the people that are listening to you. Really important that you do that, guys. I see this happen time and time and time again, where, you know, somebody will use some type of, you know, niche jargon and people don't know what they're talking about, you know, and they won't admit it. They just won't be interested is what's really going to happen. Now, here's something else. Number seven is so important. I want you to take a very deep dive in the meaning of your data points. What are your data points? What do they mean? Effective marketing is really backed by data. It didn't used to be that way. It used to be you'd run an ad on TV and hope some people would buy your stuff. You didn't even know if they came from the TV ad unless you had something tied to it. But nowadays, when we run an ad, we not only know who comes from that ad, we know where they come from. We know how many people came from it. We knew how much they spent. And that way we can dial that back into our advertising. The real meaning of data that doesn't live on the surface. You've got to dig deep to find the data that really gives you the whole story as to what's going on. You know, a really intelligent digital marketer is going to use this data to remove the guesswork out of marketing. Okay. We don't want to guess stuff. We want to say, hey, here's the data set. This is what works. This is what I got. This is what I want to replicate. Providing clear evidence of what worked and what did not work. It's okay to find stuff that don't work. As a matter of fact, 80% of the time, you're going to find stuff that does not work. And the reason for that is you don't know yet. You've got to put it out there in the market. You got to see how they react. You got to see if they buy, see if they download, see if they watch your videos, see if they join your course. You've got to do this. So you're going to have a lot of failures. A lot of people don't want to hear that. It's a fact. I have them every single day. Now, the most important data point that marketers look at is revenue. And I get that, revenue. Revenue is the ultimate goal for most marketing, okay? You must understand the whole story, though, in order to replicate the success and avoid another failure. When you identify the specific data points that led to success or failure, you've identified a meaningful data point. So I see people will say things like, well, I sent out an email and it didn't work. I'm like, okay, what do you mean it didn't work? They said, well, I didn't make any money. Okay, so that is the ultimate goal, is to make some money. I said, tell me what you did. They said, well, I sent out an email and I sent it to 10,000 people. And I had some people click and they opened the email and they went to my sales page and they didn't buy. Okay, so that was a successful campaign. Let me tell you why it was successful. It was successful because you sent out an email and they opened it. They read your email and they clicked. They didn't buy because whatever page you sent them to was not a good sales page. That's your problem. Not the emails worked great. They did their job. Their job was to get them to open an email, read the email, and click and go somewhere. The emails worked. Your sales page didn't work. That's the problem. That's what you need to work on. Keep that email, keep that process, keep what you did because it worked. What didn't work is the revenue. The revenue didn't work because you had a bad sales page. How do I know this? Because they did everything else they were supposed to do. The subject line worked. They got them to open it. The email worked because they read it and they clicked. It was the sales page. So figure out what point didn't work for them. Don't say email, I sent out an email campaign, didn't work. What didn't work? Did they not open it? Did they not read it? Did they not click? What point, did they fall off? Okay. That's what we need to know. That's the important thing right there. To be a successful marketer today, you've got to relentlessly pursue all of this data that tells the entire story. Not one thing where somebody says, I sent an email, I didn't make any money. That's not the whole process. That's not the whole process. Okay. Now, the next thing I want to talk about, and we've gone through our 7 here, which is what I had listed, but I think this is equally as important as anything else I said today. As I mentioned before, you've got a lot to balance. I get it. You've got, your family, you've got your kids, you got your significant other, whatever it is. But when you get into digital marketing, you are what your habits are. You are what your habits are. Okay. So if I decide I'm going to go work from 8 a.m. to noon at a Starbucks, and these are the things I'm going to work on, I don't let anything stop me from that. If somebody wants to say hello and talk to me and ask me what I'm doing, I will, on surface, tell them what I do and, all that kind of stuff and be polite, but then I'm gonna get right back to work. I'm not going to stop at 10 a.m. and talk to them for 2 hours about other stuff because that wasn't on my agenda. Now, some days I do have that extra time and I'll talk to somebody, but if I don't have that on my agenda, if that's not part of my day, it's not going to happen. I'm not going to talk to you. I'm not going to spend time with you. I don't have time to. It's not that I'm being rude. I just can't do it. It's not feasible. Okay. So if you implement these habits that I talked to you about, your effectiveness as a marketer will really go up. You'll have more clarity. You'll have more alignment internally. Okay. Your revenue will increase. Those days when you're supposed to do something, you don't feel like doing it, you'll do it anyhow because you know it needs to be done. That's really what separates really successful people from unsuccessful people, is on those days when they don't feel like doing something, they still show up. They still do it. I read some stuff about The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. And he's up at 4 o'clock every morning. He's at the gym at 5 o'clock and he does it every single day. That's what he does. He's like, that's what I do. He tells himself, that's what I do. So you've got to start telling yourself, this is what I do. These are the things I want to work on. These are the things I want to improve on. These are the goals I have. And to get there, these are the things I need to do. And that's just what I'm going to do. No matter how I feel, I'm going to do it. Now, if you're deathly ill, I get it. Okay. You're there. I mean, I got that world illness last year and I had a fever of 104.5. I couldn't do stuff. Okay. I could barely keep my eyes awake or eyes open. I was just falling asleep constantly. So yeah, I don't mean like that, but I mean, if you're just not in the mood to do something, if you're not in the mood to do something, well, get in the mood or just do it anyhow, being not in the mood. Because it's like I told that guy at Starbucks, I said, yeah, okay, it may not be your best work today. It may not be your best effort today, but at least you put forth the effort and you got some stuff done. If you go home and you quit, you get nothing done. What's better? Some stuff that's not as great as you want it to be, or nothing? What do you think is greater? Having something accomplished. And here's the funny thing. I see this happen to me a lot when I don't feel like doing something, whether it's I don't feel like going to the gym or I don't feel like recording videos or whatever it is I don't want to do, and I force myself to do it. Sometimes I get in the mood. Sometimes the action of doing something makes me want to do it, makes me want to do more, forces me to get in the mood. But you won't know if you quit. You won't know if you go home. You won't know if you don't go to the gym. So many times I haven't wanted to go to the gym and I got there and I performed better than I thought. I was like, wow, I didn't think I felt like doing this. I felt weak today. I didn't feel strong today. I didn't feel good today. Rarely have I gone to the gym, shown up and walked in the door and went, nah, I don't think I'm going to do it. Nah, I don't think so. Rarely. If you just show up, guys, and you start the process, show up and start the process, you're going to find that you're going to want to do some of these things. You're going to find that your mood will change. You're going to find that your attitude changes, because your attitude is a culmination of your thoughts. Okay. And if your thoughts are, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this, it's going to continue. But if you throw a wrench into that and go, well, I know you don't want to do this, but we're going to do it anyhow, and you start doing it, all of a sudden you feel like doing it. So it's not the motivation that comes before the activity. It's the motivation that comes from the activity. Okay. When I don't feel like going to the gym, I don't feel like lifting a weight, I don't feel like doing something, and I start doing it and I start getting good results, and I see it in the mirror, or I see that my weight's gone up, or I see that I can do more of something, it motivates me to continue to do it. But if I say, well, I don't think I feel like doing it, how long is that going to last? Is that going to last a day, 2 days, a week? Will it last a year? For some of us out there, it's lasted your whole life. You haven't exercised yet, and it's probably showing. Got to do it. I don't care. I don't care if you don't feel like it. I don't care if you don't have enough time. I hate that one. I hate that time thing, because we all have the same amount of time. And people will say to me, well, JR, you don't understand. I do understand. I'm a human too. I know I've got stuff to do too. Everybody's got stuff to do. Elon Musk has stuff to do, and he seems to squeeze out some exercise. Did you know that? He's forced himself to do that now. And believe me, he's got more on his plate than I bet you do right now. So think about that. Think about these 7 lessons I've given you today. If you want to be a successful digital marketer, these are the things you need to implement. These are the things you need to do. These are the things that are going to make you very successful if you keep doing it. And if you heard some of these things today that you're not doing, how about you just change? Don't say, well, that's not me. That's not what I do. That's not the kind of thing. Just change. Stop and become a different person. You can do it starting today. Hey, I hope you enjoyed it today. Like I said, put any comments in there that you want. Chat section, put it in the comment section if you're not watching it live. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button down there. Turn it from red to gray. Don't forget to ring the bell. Turn on all bell notifications so you're notified. Whoop, I just bumped my desk and the camera went like that. But anyhow, that way you'll be notified every time I go live, or if I upload a new video. We do upload on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday right now. I try to go live Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I can't always do it. This week I had a doctor's appointment on Monday, so I missed it. I will be live on this Friday and hopefully Monday too. So, if you want to catch some interesting stuff, if you found this information useful, guys, let me know. Put a comment in that comment section. Just say, hey, I like this, or this was good for me, or I wish you would have added this, or I've got an idea about that. Keep the conversation going. It's very, very helpful. Share it with somebody else. Like I say, subscribe, oh yeah, the thumbs up thing, that little thumbs up thing down there, that means a lot. I don't know why. It helps the algorithm, but hit that thumbs up. Thank you so much for listening today. I really appreciate you being here. I really love each and every one of you. And if I can help you in any way, that's my goal. That's my data point, helping you guys. All right. I'll talk to you real soon.